are all members of their teachers' Google Classrooms so that they're able to check in. And I think Mr. Librera put it the best when, when he explained to the teachers on Thursday that the goal is to continue making progress. And what were his exact words that would be
moving the needle forward.
Yeah, and just really that, we know that for these 3 weeks, and I was very clear with the staff and with the students about this. It's not that we're expecting you to make the same progress you would have made here in those 3 weeks virtually, just because it's our first foray into it, and we know that that would be overwhelming and not possible. However, the goal is to continue making progress forward. And so that's what they spent that Thursday afternoon and Friday morning doing, collaborating with the other teachers who teach the same courses as them. And we wanted them to have, so-called buddy teachers, because also during this time, if the teacher is sick, there's not a substitute, so we want another teacher that's why we want the lessons coordinated, so that another teacher can help assist their classes, or their supervisor can assist with that. So they are posting assignments. There's expectations for a certain number of graded assignments per week. We're taking official attendance via Genesis, but we also are requiring student check-ins on Google Classroom so that we can keep track and make sure that the students are engaged and actually submitting assignments and doing the work. And I've actually gotten some very positive feedback from parents that when their children came home on Friday, that they actually felt very clear about the expectations, which was very gratifying to hear. In terms of the technology piece, so again, our IT staff has been phenomenal, and Anthony's been here since December 1st, so it's been kind of an unusual start for him. But we, because we have the one-to-one Chromebooks for the 9th through 11th graders, and that part of when we first started buying the Chromebooks, part of it was for the state testing, because we needed technology, so who knew that would help us years down the road. But the one-to-one, and Anthony, I think you can attest to this, was huge in terms of being able to handle this.
We have a huge advantage over every other district that doesn't have that in place yet. Even our 12th graders who bring their own device, only a few needed a device to take home with them over the last month. And they're all working, and it's really
we surveyed the seniors. We surveyed everyone in terms of asking them about internet access at home, and if they didn't have internet access, we had about 5. We are giving them hotspots. And then we also added a question for the 12th grade parents of do they have a device to use at home, and if they did not, we issued them Chromebooks, and that was probably about 30. Because we obviously have the Chromebook cards here. So, the other piece too is that our teachers have really embarked on utilizing different technological tools in their classrooms. And when our teachers are out, they're actually very actively using Google Classroom when there's a sub in the classroom to maintain instruction. And so, it certainly wasn't seamless going to virtual instruction for 3 weeks, but they were much more prepared than we would have been, during Hurricane Sandy, what was that, 8 years ago? And the other piece too is some of them are experimenting with some new tools. The other piece that will come out of this is actually some of them were introduced to some new software by our IT department, and they put together a lot of information for the teachers and some tutorials and things for them to take a look at. So they're experimenting with some new things as well. Beth, did you want to add anything?
The buddy teachers and supervisors have been jumping in there as well, because life goes on, and we've had just within the 2 days, a dental emergency, things that pop up where teachers actually have to call out sick from home instruction, and the supervisors have really been jumping in there to keep things flowing smoothly, which is nice. And I was surprised Monday morning exactly how hectic it was for everyone, even though we're working remotely. I was checking that attendance, making sure we didn't accidentally have somebody put in for a sub, and the teachers, all the employees are signing in remotely on the in-out board to mark that they are present and on duty. And so as I was working with people on that aspect, I kept hearing from the teachers how busy they were with getting the kids set up and getting the kids engaged, so that they may have forgotten to sign in. But it was a very fast-paced Monday morning, and people really just dove right in. And just on a sort of a happy note, on that in-out board you can make comments, and so many people left their excited, so it was a nice feel to it.
And then, the governor addressed testing today, where he said in his afternoon meeting that the question was, what's gonna happen to, you know, the state testing that we're supposedly working our way into, and his response was TBD, right? And so there's obviously we have no idea what that means, but that leads me to kind of my bigger and final question is, what contingency plans are we making in case this is not a 3-week outage? Meaning, what happens if, you know, have we started to develop secondary, tertiary plans for the fact that the school possibly could be shut down for the remainder of the year?
So that's part of our agenda tomorrow, and that is what we'll, you know, we talked about that initially, and so that's, you know, and everything from, we're still waiting to hear from the NJSIAA, you know, what their decisions are going to be regarding, athletics, for spring sports, because, you know, that's certainly something that's on everyone's mind, in terms of everything from credits to graduation to college, and so that's what our director of school counseling is in particular looking at. And then obviously the learning piece. So that's really a big part of what we're going to be talking about tomorrow and more next week once we have a better idea. But, you know, I think that we'll be giving the teachers an update that, you know, while we set this for 3 weeks and spring break, that they, just like on last Thursday, you know, my message to them when I initially sent out the correspondence to the staff that we would be having a half day on Thursday was, we want to plan for the possibility of a school closure. And we had a plan for what we were going to have them work on in terms of, because at that point we didn't know when the closure would be. So we had actually mapped out how